Okay.
Yeah.
Another interesting game, I think. Tampa Bay +3 according to Bovada at New Orleans.
Tampa Bay +3 at New Orleans. That's interesting. That seems really, really low for me. If Tampa was a 7-point underdog, that'd be appropriate for me.
Mm.
I honestly, and this sounds a little bit crazy, but from what I've seen so far, it doesn't really appear like the Teddy Bridgewater-led Saints are that much worse than the Drew Brees-led Saints. As nutty as that sounds, it seems like they're just coached very well and they're like a unit, and they're just gonna play well regardless of who's back there.
I think you got to give credit to Sean Payton and the coaching staff, and Sean
do?
Payton. I hate that he wears a vest, or not a vest. He may as well be a vest, but that little hat. What are they called? The visor. I hate that he wears.
I hate
visors.
that he wears that face of his.
I hate that he's all in on the what was it, the juicy fruit or whatever he is, like the big red or whatever gum he chews. And I hate that he always perpetually looks like he's sniffing a fart or sucking a fart directly out of someone's rear end.
Yeah, it looks like somebody just farted right in his nose.
face. He's always puckered up and chewing that gum. I don't know. I don't like.
But you got to give him props.
You got to give him
Fart
props.
sniffer and all, man.
That's what this
He's
is all
done really
about.
well.
I don't like to give him props, so I had to rip him 3 times before I did. But
two solid wins, dude.
Mhm.
Without Drew Brees, who is not out for the year. So every one of these wins is magnified, man.
Mhm.
And they played 2 of the NFC's best, one on the road, and came away with 2 victories, man. I gotta applaud them. Keep sniffing those farts, buddy.
Yeah.
Keep sniffing.
And they had that the Rams game could have been different if the refs didn't blow the whistle a little bit early. Now they could have lost that game to Houston to start the year, but it's the NFL. You are what your record says you are. They're 3-1, 2 wins with Teddy Bridgewater, who's 12-6 as an NFL starter. Minnesota fans, you got to be really happy that that the Vikings had Case Keenum, who took you to an NFC championship, and Teddy Bridgewater, and another quarterback who I can't even remember the third quarterback that they had that was okay. All on your
Christian
roster.
Ponder.
No, it was after Ponder. I can't remember that year. They had like 3 decent quarterbacks, and then they gave $28 million
to Kirk Cousins.
I never understood why they let Bridgewater go. I know he was injured, but he had come back. He was on the active roster by then. I thought that was a big
he
miss.
wasn't spectacular in any way.
No, he wasn't, but he won a lot of games in Minnesota.
But he won a lot of games, right?
Would
he's
you
not
rather
even
let me ask
spectacular
you,
right now, but he's
would
winning.
you rather have Kirk Cousins at 28, or would you rather have Bridgewater at 15?
Oh, 100%. For sure,
There you
Bridgewater. 100%. Right.
There you
And
go.
I'm not disputing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're on New Orleans, right? Sorry, I didn't. You're taking
yes,
New Orleans.
I'm
in
on
this
New
one?
Orleans. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm on New Orleans.
I'm taking Tampa Bay, and I'm not overreacting to what they did to the Rams by any means. I mean, watch the game. I'm not a big look. I one of my betting rules, because I think everybody should have like measured betting rules. For me, I never bet against Bill Belichick, even if I love the game. I'd never bet against Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
The other one, and I should probably start thinking about making don't bet against fart sniffer Sean. Wait, what's the guy's name?
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton, yeah. I was about to say Sean McVay. I knew that was off. And one of my other rules is I'm just not going to put money on Jameis Winston, because you never know. You just never know. And so, like, as a computer pick, if I'm in like a little free like Yahoo thing or something like that, maybe I would do something like that. But I just wouldn't ever find myself going on Bovada and wagering on on our guy there, Jameis Winston. Just no way. But I think this is a game that, I look at New Orleans defense and what they did to Dallas, and their defensive line was a hornet's nest the whole freaking game. And Dallas couldn't get a first down to save their lives. When they were able to sustain a drive, the pass rush slowed down a little bit. I think Tampa can sustain drives, and I think they can take some of the bite out of that defense. Now, Lattimore, who locked down Amari Cooper, locking down Amari Cooper is a lot different than locking down Mike Evans, who's about a foot taller than everybody out there.
Right.
I think I'm just looking purely at the matchup. My computers like Tampa, which I was surprised by, and I like Tampa in the eye test. I just think this is a game that gives New Orleans a little bit of fits, where everybody's hyping New Orleans now because they just took care of Seattle and Dallas in convincing fashion in both wings. This is the time for a letdown. Again, this is a very weak argument for me, but I could see it happening. I could see Tampa, losing like 24-23. If they're getting 3 points, I'll take the points.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm not putting money on it, and I don't suggest anybody out there does either. Daily fantasy-wise, I think Winston has a good game if he can keep the interceptions under control. If you're rotating quarterbacks for your DFS, your daily fantasy, go ahead and do that. Don't like any of the running backs, but I think Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are starts. If you're going to pick one of those guys, I say Evans is the more likely one to blow up this week, even though he's going to be playing against Lattimore most likely. New Orleans, Alvin Kamara, Mike Thomas, and that's it for me for New Orleans.